Hello, how are you guys?
Hi, I'm
Hi,
fine.
Hello,
How
how
are
fine.
I'm
Thank
good.
you. And you? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now it has entered the last days of Ramadan. Are you still excited about fasting?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, guys, I have an issue related to our major. Nowadays, there's a lot of soil contamination. Even though we know that soil is very vital for all life on Earth, right? It is because the soil supports plant life by providing nutrients and water as well as supporting roots. This pollution itself generally occurs due to chemicals like heavy metals, cadmium, copper, lead, and others, whether it comes from households, industry, and also agriculture. The impact not only affects humans, but also animals, plants, and the environment. So guys, what do you think about that? Is there a right solution to solve this problem?
Yes, it's true what Niarum said. If at this time the soil is highly polluted, one of pollution is agricultural waste, such as pesticide. We know that pesticide is highly used in agricultural activity, but based on research which conducted by Sun et al. 2018, around 80 until 90% of applied pesticide in the target or kill pests and it's contaminating the soil, which can affect human health, flora and fauna, soil microorganism, and soil properties because their hazardous chemical structure includes organophosphor, organochlorine, nitrogen benzene, phenol, metal organic, and other heavy metals. But don't worry, that's on journal written by Sun et al. 2018. There are many remediation methods available, such as bioremediation, which use microorganisms to degrade pollutants, phytoremediation, which use plants to absorb the pollutants, and other methods such as chemical oxidation, surfactant extraction, electrokinetic remediation, and thermal disruption. All of these methods can help to reduce and eliminate soil pollutants.
Anyways, guys, talk about heavy metal pollutant in soil. Fertilizer are also playing a role. I have read a journal that related to this when doing class assignment. The title is Scenario of Heavy Metal Contamination in Agricultural Soil and Its Management by Chopra et al. 2009. The journal said that fertilizer will leave residue that would be contaminant in soil. Phosphate fertilizer was the largest contributor to the heavy metal contamination in the fertilizer class. Phosphate fertilizer are contain heavy metal like cadmium, arsenic, mercury, and selenium, which can cause the soil pollution if used in large quantities. The journal also talked about management to handle soil contamination from heavy metal, such as phytoremediation, physics and chemical remediation, and also bioremediation by organisms like Elia said before. Phytoremediation is like what Elia said. Physics and chemical remediation has two methods, in situ and ex situ. In situ remediation is remediation without excavation, and ex situ remediation is with removing the contaminant from soil and with excavation. And bioremediation by organisms are using microbial activities to degrading heavy metal in soil. Microbial that can degrade heavy metal such as fungi like Phanerochaete and bacterial like Rhizobium species.
Based on Elia and Ester Esther explained before, that soil contaminant can come from pesticide and fertilizer which contain several dangerous heavy metals. One of them is lead. The content of heavy metal lead in the soil will have a negative impact for soil itself and also for human health. Therefore, the use of bioremediation to remove lead from the soil is very appropriate. Based on a journal that I have read, Murthy et al. 2012 explained that bioremediation using Bacterium bacillus can remove lead by absorbing lead and then use it as a bioagent so that it can detoxify the soil from the contaminant. So, to remove contaminants in the soil by using the Bacterium bacillus, of course, through the following steps. The first one is 16 lead tolerant bacterial strain were isolated from soil contaminated by lead metal. Then the isolates were maintained by weekly subculturing on trypton glucose extract agar and stored at 4 degrees Celsius. The second one is a stock solution of lead was prepared by dissolving 16 milligrams of lead nitrate in deionized distilled water, shaking it for 15 minutes and then leaving it to stand for 24 hours to obtain complete dissolution. Third is freshly grown single colonies of the isolate were picked up with an inclusion loop, stirred into 10 milliliter deionized water in a test tub, and maintained a suspension stock for inclusion experiment. Then, they conducted studies on lead bioabsorption, the effect of incubation temperature, the effect of pH, the effect of culturage, so that after taking the following step, the lead content in the soil can be overcome, although not entirely. It can reduce the negative impact on the soil itself and for human health. What about you guys?
I agree with you all. Heavy metals are the main source of the soil pollution. Elle has explanation about using bioremediation to remove one of heavy metal in the soil. So I choose phytoremediation to remove heavy metal from the soil. Based the journal by Sarwar et al. 2017 about phytoremediation that I read, phytoremediation method means using plants that are resistant to heavy metal stress. Mechanism of phytoremediation by accumulating heavy metals in the root tissue and the spreading to other parts of plant via xylem. However, the traditional use of phytoremediation by only growing stress plant has several drawbacks, such as the time to need repel soil contaminant, low extractability, a very small fraction of metal is bioavailable, applicable to sites with low or moderate contaminants, low about knowledge of agronomy and any other. To overcome this, phytoremediation can be done in a modern way, namely the use chemical phytoremediation, which help plant ion hyperaccumulatively, help biochar, and use a microorganism and transgenic plant. So that's a modern phytoremediation approach with a generic engineering approach in working high biomassa as well being able to accumulate logan and how to deal with it.
Yeah, I've read a journal about phytoremediation. Plants differ in their tolerance to heavy metals. However, most of the growing plants are not hyperaccumulators for heavy metal due to its impact on plant cellular activities. The study conducted Alabodi et al. 2018 concluded that Helianthus annum plant or sunflowers was more favorable for cadmium uptake compared to lead. And they suggest its ability for the remediation of lead and cadmium contaminated soil. The application of 200 milligram per kilogram soil of lead and cadmium reduced the fresh weight of shoot and root up to 76.6% and 64.3%, and then 88.5% and 90.90% respectively. Shoot and root length 94.1%, 83.2% and 95.1% respectively. The highest bioaccumulation was recorded for cadmium in the root ground on soil amended with 20 milligram per kilogram, with an average value of 1.67. In addition, the value of the translocation factor of cadmium increased by increasing the level of cadmium in soil. According to Zorga et al. 2021, Elianthemum cahiricum and Zygopilum album proved to be suitable for phytoextraction purpose as does Trausorb present capability to remove copper and zinc depending on the soil type.
By the way, guys, I have another method from another journal. It's by using biochar. Biochar can absorb heavy metals and organic pollutants. Biochar can reduce the bioavailability and leaching of heavy metals and organic pollutants in the soil through adsorption and other physicochemical reactions. According to Ippolito et al. 2012, biochar can stabilize and reduce heavy metals in polluted soils. In addition, the study proposed by Park et al. 2011 stated that biochar from chicken manure and green waste can reduce the uptake of cadmium, copper, and lead metals. Therefore, the application of biochar for remediation of soil contaminated with heavy metals and organic pollutants can be another alternative solution in overcoming soil pollution. Wow, guys, based on our discussion, it turns out that there are many ways, right, to solve soil pollution. For example, by bioremediation using the bacterium Bacillus cereus, various phytoremediators such as using sunflowers and other plants. We can also combine these methods to make it more efficient, but with the right method, of course. Okay, guys. So thank you for the discussion today. I got a lot of knowledge from all of you. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Me too. I have no knowledge about this.
Thank you.
Oh, guys, before we get the last. Okay, we making picture. Don't forget it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let's take a picture.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay,
Thank you.